Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins may finally be catching a break on the injury front, and it couldn't come at a better time. With training camp looming and the start of the regular season just around the corner, all eyes are on the team's top off-season acquisition, offensive guard James Daniels. Signed to a 3-year, $24 million deal, Daniels was brought in to add toughness, experience, and reliability to an offensive line that desperately needs it. But a torn Achilles suffered last September while playing for the Steelers put that plan in jeopardy. Now, Dolphins fans are getting the update they've been waiting for. According to Joe Schad of the Palm Beach Post, Daniels met with the media recently and offered a surprisingly optimistic outlook. "I'm right on the progression," Daniels said, exuding the kind of calm confidence that a team wants from one of its cornerstone linemen. His presence in the lineup could mean everything for a Dolphins team with playoff ambitions. Still, optimism doesn't always guarantee availability, especially when we're talking about an Achilles tear. A notoriously tricky injury for any athlete, let alone a 300-pound lineman. Daniels' injury happened on September 29th during a pass-blocking play against the Colts. That puts the 11 to 12-month recovery timeline right up against the start of the season. Even if everything goes right, it's a tight window. A perfect scenario would have Daniels returning to full strength a week before the opener. But full strength is a loaded phrase in this context. The Dolphins can't afford to rush him. I'll back and risk a setback. The good news is that Daniel seems to have a healthy mindset about the process. "Trying to ramp up. I'll rehab, work out, and spend time with my wife and my cats," he said with a chuckle. That kind of levity amid recovery shows maturity, and a little humor never hurts in the long grind of rehab. For Miami, Daniel's recovery status is more than just a health update. It's a strategic factor that could shape the team's entire offensive identity. If he's ready, the line stabilizes. If not, things get murkier. The Dolphins would likely turn to rookie Jonas Savaiinaea to hold down the left guard spot, with Liam Eichenberg shifting over to the right. It's not an ideal scenario, but it's manageable. The silver lining here is that Daniels and Savaiinaea are building a positive rapport, which could pay dividends regardless of who starts where. "I think he's good," Daniels said of the rookie. "He's always texting me. He's always texting other players asking for advice. He's always working after practice." That kind of work ethic from a young player is exactly what the Dolphins need if they're going to withstand the physical toll of an NFL season. Savaiinaea's development becomes even more crucial if Daniel's recovery takes longer than expected. But there's something encouraging about a rookie guard already reaching out to veterans, eager to learn. That attitude shows the Dolphins may have found not just a stopgap, but a long-term piece for the trenches. And make no mistake, Miami's offensive line isn't just about protecting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. It's about setting the tone, creating space in the run game, and giving this high-powered offense the foundation it needs to operate. With weapons like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the outside, Miami has speed to burn, but none of that matters if the line can't hold. That's why Daniel's recovery is being watched so closely, and why even a small positive update feels like a win. When Daniels talks about his rehab, he doesn't sugarcoat the grind. Achilles injuries are known for being as frustrating as they are painful. There's no shortcut, no cheat code. It's just consistent, patient work. But Daniel's steady demeanor and grounded approach suggest he's taking every step the right way. Right on the progression. Might sound simple, but it speaks volumes about his discipline. He's not jumping the gun, not pushing timelines. He's trusting the process, something coaches and trainers love to hear. For head coach Mike McDANIEL and offensive line coach Butch Barry, this is a scenario they'll monitor down to the day, because the healthy Daniels doesn't just improve the line, he elevates the entire offense. Daniels was brought in for a reason. The Dolphins saw a physical, smart, and versatile lineman who could anchor the interior. He played both center and guard during his time with the Bears and brought a wealth of experience to Pittsburgh before the injury. His technique, hand strength, and football IQ are what set him apart. The idea was to plug him in next to Connor Williams or Robert Hunt and finally give Tua the clean pockets he needs to make magic. But beyond his skills, Daniels is also known for being a leader in the locker room, someone young players respect and veterans rally around. That intangible quality could be just as valuable as his blocking, especially if the team faces adversity early in the season. The Dolphins haven't had consistent offensive line play in years, and that's no secret. Injuries, underperforming, draft picks, and frequent coaching changes have all played a part. Daniels represents a chance to turn the page. If he's even 90% by week 1, Miami would gladly take it. Because with this team's high-octane offense and playoff hopes riding high, the margin for error is razor thin. A couple blown blocks could be the difference between a deep postseason run and another early exit. Daniels returning in time could help keep that nightmare from becoming reality. The Dolphins made a calculated bet in free agency, and if it pays off, they may finally have the line they've been dreaming about for years. There's also something to be said about the chemistry building between Daniels and the younger guys. His praise for his Savaiinaea wasn't just polite lip service. It came across as genuine, one lineman recognizing the drive in another. That dynamic could be critical if the Dolphins decide to get creative with their starting 5. Maybe Daniel starts at right guard and the rookie locks down at left. Maybe it flips depending on matchups. Either way, the team appears to have options. And in the NFL, where depth is often the hidden key to a successful season, that's huge. Daniel's willingness to guide Savaiinaea and be flexible about his role speaks volumes about his mindset as a teammate and leader. And let's not forget the ripple effect this could have on Tua Tagovailoa. We've seen what Tua can do when he's protected. Quick reads, accurate throws, and explosive plays. But under pressure, his production drops significantly. That's why Daniel's return isn't just a story about one player. It's a story about a quarterback, an offense, and a franchise trying to make the leap from good to great. If Daniels is ready to go, the Dolphins are immediately in a better place. If he's not, they'll have to lean on youth, adaptability, and scheme. Either way, this update brings hope. It's not a guarantee. It's not a headline-grabbing miracle, but it's progress. And for the Miami Dolphins, progress on the offensive line might be the most important story of the summer. So as the countdown to week 1 begins, all eyes remain on James Daniels. Every rehab step, every drill, every piece of film he studies, it all matters now. The Dolphins are playing the long game with this one, and they should. Rushing him back helps no one. But if the timing works out and Daniels steps onto the field fully healthy, it could be a game changer. The combination of his experience, skill, and leadership could finally give Miami the line they've been missing. It's still early, and plenty can change. But for now, Daniels' update is the kind of news Dolphins fans needed, not just because he's progressing, but because his presence means stability, power, and potential up front. And if you're Miami, that's exactly the energy you want leading your offense into 2025. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Alright folks, buckle up because there's a major buzz swirling around Miami's football scene, and it centers on none other than TYREEK Hill. Just moments ago, Mike McDANIEL, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, dropped a bombshell that's already sending shockwaves through the NFL community. According to McDANIEL, the future of the electric wide receiver TYREEK Hill with the Dolphins isn't sealed in stone. It's actually up to Hill himself. That's right. The man who has been a game changer on the field might have the final say on whether he stays in Miami or looks for greener pastures elsewhere. This kind of statement from a coach is rare and loaded with meaning, sparking a frenzy of speculation about what could be brewing behind the scenes. Now, let's dig into what this might really mean. When a coach publicly places the ball in a player's court, it often signals that negotiations, relationships, or future plans are in flux. McDaniel's words suggest there could be ongoing discussions with Hill about his role, contract, or even his happiness within the team. Is this a subtle hint that Hill is considering testing free agency? Or maybe there's tension about the team's direction that might be pushing the star wideout to rethink his loyalty. Fans and analysts alike are scratching their heads, wondering if Miami's offense might lose its star weapon soon. The intrigue is real, and the stakes couldn't be higher for both parties. TYREEK Hill has been nothing short of spectacular since joining Miami. His electrifying speed and uncanny ability to make defenders look silly have transformed the Dolphins' offense into one of the most feared in the league. Yet, despite the undeniable impact, whispers have circulated about how much Hill wants to invest in Miami long term. Is the city's vibe, the team's culture, or even McDANIEL's coaching style aligning with Hill's ambitions? The coach's statement fuels these rumors, suggesting that Hill's decision might hinge on factors beyond just money. Perhaps something deeper like trust, vision, or even personal goals. This opens up an entire realm of possibilities for what Miami must do to keep him happy. The timing of McDANIEL's comments adds another layer to the unfolding drama. With the NFL offseason heating up, teams are strategizing about draft picks, trades, and contracts. For Miami, holding on to a player of Hill's caliber could be pivotal in their championship aspirations. However, if Hill is indeed contemplating a departure, the Dolphins could face a challenging crossroads. Will they try to convince him to stay with a lucrative offer or more control over their offense? Or would they prepare to move on, perhaps seeking to leverage Hill's value in a trade before the window closes? The uncertainty keeps the NFL rumor mill spinning, and every insider chatter now focuses on Miami's next move. From Hill's perspective, this could be a moment of reckoning. As one of the league's top receivers, he has earned the right to call his own shots. The coach's remarks that it depends on him may be a strategic way to empower Hill publicly, signaling respect for his choices. But it could also be a pressure play, nudging Hill to make a decision quickly so the team can plan accordingly. The dynamics between player and coach are fascinating here. Are they aligned behind closed doors, or is this a sign of underlying friction? Either way, Hill's response in the coming days or weeks will be scrutinized by fans, media, and rival teams alike. Let's not forget the business side of things. Miami's management will be watching closely, weighing the financial implications of either re-signing or losing Hill. His market value is sky high, and if he opts to test free agency, bidding wars could explode across the league. For the Dolphins, the stakes involve not just salary cap considerations, but the entire identity of their offense. Losing Hill might mean reshaping their strategy, recruiting new talent, or doubling down on other stars. McDANIEL's bombshell statement could be a calculated move to stir the pot, gauge reactions, or even send signals to other players and agents about Miami's stance on player empowerment. Social media has already ignited, with fans reacting wildly to the news. Some are pleading with Hill to stay, highlighting his iconic plays and the joy he brings to the Miami faithful. Others speculate about where he might land if he leaves. Will it be a powerhouse like Kansas City, where he first shined, or a surprise contender looking to elevate their passing game? The buzz is global, with football forums, podcasts, and YouTube channels dissecting every nuance of McDANIEL's words. The ripple effect of this rumor is undeniable, making it one of the hottest topics in sports right now. If Hill does decide to stay, Miami's offense could continue its upward trajectory, thrilling fans with high-octane plays and clutch performances. But if he chooses to depart, the Dolphins will need to act fast, either by identifying his successor or pivoting their game plan entirely. This scenario also raises questions about McDANIEL's leadership. Does he have the locker room influence to retain top talent, or will this episode expose cracks in the team's foundation? The narrative is thick with tension and uncertainty, turning what was a simple offseason into a potential turning point for Miami's franchise. As the days go by, all eyes will be on TYREEK Hill and Mike McDANIEL. Will Hill reveal his decision soon, or will this saga drag on, fueling more rumors and wild guesses? One thing is for sure. The future of Miami's offense hangs in the balance, and the ripple effects will be felt throughout the league. Keep your notifications on, because this story is far from over, and the next move could change everything for the Dolphins and the NFL landscape. The clock is ticking, and the suspense is unbearable. But isn't that what makes sports so thrilling? That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.